friends, Christy LaFleur here with McGraw-Hill Education, and I just want to share with you a few tips on RevealMath that you can do with your students while they're doing some remote or virtual learning. RevealMath has some great digital components that will allow your students to be successful during this time away from your classroom. So I'm here in Reveal Algebra 1. Now this is true for Course 1, 2, 3, as well as Geometry and Algebra 2. So any of those courses that you're in should all work the same. I'm here on the dashboard. One thing that if you haven't familiarized yourself much with the digital platform, you might want to go right down here where there's a clickable digital tour to do that. Also, up here at the top, there is a help button that has some great resources. Just look for the RevealMath, and that's an excellent place for you guys to look as well. Now, there's many ways that you can do this with your students, that you can make assignments. There's, of course, Word documents that you can print out if they're doing some type of packet that your school is picking up. So a lot of these you can print. You can even print to PDFs or share with Google Classroom. So there's going to be lots of different options for you. Of course, feel free to reach out to any of us too, and we can help you with suggestions on ways to do this. So let's get started. So like I said, I'm here at the dashboard, and from there, I'm going to move into Course. Now, just as a reminder, Course remembers exactly where you were the last time you were in this class. So the last time I was in this class, I was in Module 7, Systems of Linear Equations and Inequalities, Lesson 1. So I'm just looking at these resources. Now, under these resources, you'll see the Launch, Explore and Develop. Lots under Explore and Develop in this one. Reflect and Practice, and then additional resources and teacher added resources. Remember, your students have the Launch, Explore and Develop, and Reflect and Practice. And then anything that's clicked on Add to Student page, they can see and them. But you can also assign these. So for example, maybe I want to assign this Explore activity. It's a great activity. It uses the geometer's web sketches and allows them to answer some questions. So maybe you wanted to assign that to your students. You just very easily hit assign, and you can do a start date and an end date. You know, you might want to put this towards the end of the month, or even maybe into next month, however you want to. You can select that it's all students, or if you want to do it to a particular group, however you so choose, you can do that as well. You will need to enter the number of possible points, so if you could enter any number you want to. And then if you want to do your assignment to a category. Also remember, if you have more than one class of Algebra 1, you can also select and assign this to your other Algebra 1 classes as well. So I'm going to click Assign. And then that quickly, I've just assigned that to my students. Now, once I assign something, of course, then I can go in and look what they've done. So let me just real quickly, here's assignments. So I'm going to go over there. And of course, I've just assigned it, so nobody's done that for me just yet. But you'll see, here's the assignment. 0 of 5 have been submitted. It is open, and it starts today and will end on April 3rd. Also keep in mind, like I said, if you want to decided, oh wait, I needed to copy that to a class, you can do it from here, and you can also share your assignments with Google Classroom. Now, another key that you can do is if you really want to see, like, okay, so what did I assign to my students? If you go to Roster, so I simply am going to choose Roster, and then over here I can choose a student, and I can emulate this student. So now I'm going to be entering into emulation mode, and this will be, any content interactions will be recorded as if I was a student. So I could see if I want to see exactly what my students are doing, or did I really assign this to them. I can go in and you can see, look, right here, whenever they log in, here is that Explore activity. And of course, you can go in and you could even look at the assignment, view it. If you want to see what the student has already done, of course, you could see it that way. Or you can simply, once they've submitted it, you'll be able to go in and do it as well. So just to give you guys an idea of what you've got here, you can see that you can go in and emulate a student. Now I'm going to exit that, and now I'm back as a teacher. And remember, I did that through roster. Also in roster, this may be a chance that you want to create some groups. So this might be a good time, so you can just simply create groups here into your rosters as well. Now, I'm going to go back to course. Now remember, course remembers exactly where I was the last time, so I was right there in Module 7, Lesson 1, and I had just assigned that Explore activity. So that's exactly what it's showing me done. Now, of course, I can assign any of these other activities that I would like to, or examples, extra examples. Remember, anytime you see the little data check, that's a reminder that that's going to be something that's going to be automatically graded and sent to your reports for you and your students, so you can see that as well. But let's scroll down to Reflect and Practice. And under Reflect and Practice, this is where you have Practice Form A assessment, and this right here shows me that this is electronic, that it's data, and then you'll see that it's an assessment, but then it's also right here in MS Word. So if you needed to print this out, this is an excellent, Practice Form A is an excellent one that you could print out for your students and create a packet for them as well. Now, the other thing is that these are all downloadable whenever they're in MS Word. So if you need to email it, the packet to your students, this is where I would definitely do that as well. Now maybe you're thinking, okay, I want this practice, I've got this practice, but what about my students need a copy of the lesson with the answers in it? Well, let me just share with you really quickly that there's several ways that you can do that. If you look over here under additional resources, you'll see that right here is the student pages, but within these student pages, as I scroll through, you'll notice that the answers are filled in. So if your students have their interactive text at home and you want to help them in filling in some of the answers, here's some suggested answers. And this might be another excellent resource that you would want to download. Right here, I just simply click, download it, save it to a folder, and then send that as well to your students. So that's just one suggestion. Now, underneath Reflect and Practice, there is also excellent resources here in the form of personal tutors, which are basically whiteboard examples that are pre-recorded by veteran teachers that simply allow your students to see problems that mimic the problems in our textbook. So this is an excellent resource to assign. Also, e-solutions. Now, if your students have their interactive textbook at home and you would like them to just, instead of having to assign out that practice like I just shared with you, but if you would like them to see each and every practice problem from the book worked out, simply go and hit e-solutions manual. Of course, it's automatically going to go to the section that we're on, but you can go to any other of the drop-down menu. You can select, instead of online, print to a PDF, and I chose solutions and answers, and then I'm going to hit print. This is going to generate a PDF of each and every practice problem and the step-by-step solutions for that practice problem. So you're going to be able to see the step-by-step practice problems for each and every one. Now, this does take a minute. We'll see it's 19% complete. Let's just pause. I say there's a lot of solutions to go through in this entire Algebra 1 program, so it takes just a little minute to generate this. So I'll give that a minute. As I am, we'll take a little commercial break. Once again, my name is Christy LaFleur, and I could be reached at CHRISTIE.LaFleur, which is LAFLEUR, at mheducation.com. And during these times, folks, please reach out to me with any questions. So, my commercial break, my PDF downloaded, so I'm going to click here. You'll notice it's over here in the bottom corner. And let's just open it up. And remember, this is Algebra 1. There were, I believe, 51 problems, and it was on graphing. So you guys look, there is quite a few pages. So I may not suggest you printing this out, because you'll see this is 52 pages in this one solution. Christy chose a doozy to print out here. But you'll notice great step-by-step solutions for each and every practice problem that's in the book. And remember, that was under the e-solutions, all under Reflect and Practice. Now I'm going to move past Reflect and Practice and go to Additional Resources. Additional Resources is where I found that answer key of the print student edition. You'll also notice that there's differentiation here, and so there are more than one practice form. So like here's practice form B, and that's usually has more skill in practice than the others, and there's also a MS Word document for that. And then there's practice form C, and that has more higher order thinking skill problems on it. So A is kind of on level, B is kind of approaching level, and then C is a little bit above level. Another great learning tool here is the Language Development Handbook. And so this just really helps to support students with strategies and scaffolding of note-taking. So this is an excellent time that students might be in need of this too as well to help them. And then you'll also notice that there is some review problems, and our Quick Review Math Handbook. This is available for Algebra 1, Geometry, and Algebra 2, and this is an excellent reteaching tool for the students. Now, something that's another excellent reteaching tool is Take Another Look, and this is available for Course 1, Course 2, Course 3, and Algebra 1. This is just basically a great little mini lesson that helps support the lesson that is here in the book. So it's just an alternate way of teaching the lesson, and many times these start with a little video, and then it'll go through a few examples. Of course, it'll highlight the vocabulary, and it too will end with a little data check, so a little piece of assessment. So Arrive, Take Another Look is another excellent resource to assign to your students, and these are found from Course 1 through Algebra 1. Now, keep in mind also you have this teacher added resource. So this is a great place if you use the Show Me app, or if you want to attach any any links to a web page or something that your school's got, and you can definitely attach that. And once you attach it, you'll be able to assign it or put it in the student pages for your students as well. So super easy there. So lots of great resources just under any lesson. Now I also remind you guys that at the module level, there's several resources I want to share with you there too. Under the module level, underneath the launch, there's a nice video for your students to watch about. So why would I even want to learn about systems of equations and inequalities? What does that have to do with me? That's a great resource to assign. You may also want to assign this pre-test there. Keep in mind that there are also module review tests and vocabulary tests, but one of the great things here at the module level is our dynamic module practice. And so if you haven't had a chance to look at these, also go on that help page and it'll give you a great guide to these. But basically this is just to help students prepare for assessment, and it's a great way for them to independently learn because these are algorithmically generated, so the students will be able to just continue to practice the same concept through various problems there. So a great independent opportunity for students to learn, and that's in the module level dynamic test practice for you guys. So that's another place I suggest. So we've looked at a lesson level, we've looked at a module, we've talked a little bit about assignments, but I want to revisit assignments very quickly for you guys. Whenever I click back on assignments, I want to go to add an assignment. And whenever I hit add an assignment, you'll see that there's several different options for me. The fourth option here is SmartBook. Now under SmartBook, what you're going to find is some of our RevealMath learning solutions. So from here, I want to go into, let's see, there's 32 different chapters. Let's go to solving systems of equations. And whoops, let me see. Well, it looks like I'm having a little technical difficulty with this. Hang on just a second and let me see. Please select a chapter, and you can only solve one chapter at a time. So, oh, here we go. I knew I was hitting the wrong button there. So I have looked at relationships between quantities and reasoning with equations. And you'll see these are the different ones I can choose. So maybe I just want to create and solve linear equations and inequalities. Create an assignment. And this is basically through our Learn Smart. So I'm going to call this equations and inequalities. Add any other special instructions. Remember, you might want to change the timeline on this to give them a little extra time. You can put the points possible here. You can still do all your groups in different ways to share with Google Classroom and copy to other classes. And then click Assign. So now this, underneath SmartBook, whenever I go in and let's see if it'll let me open it from here. No, let me go back to assignments. And let me see if I can preview it from right here. Edit view. Now I'm going to have to go in for a student. So let me just share with you what this looks like really quick. So remember, I'm just going to go back to roster. And from roster, I'm going to choose one of my students again, and let me just emulate. This is basically a great review learning tool right here. So I'm emulating this student. Now my sweet students have 2 assignments, and I'm just very quickly going to show you what this SmartBook does. So here we're going to our site, and this just allows us, this is really allowing you to engage with topics that you've already previously learned. And so I've given you an assignment, and it'll walk the students through, and I can simply go in.
Let's start learning. This adaptive study session will help you improve your proficiency on the listed topics.
So you remember those 2 topics that I assigned, creating linear equations and solving inequalities. So basically, we're just going to go through, and students are going to be able to choose different missions and how they want to do assignments.
Pick your next learning mission. This will help you learn in a more focused way.
So students will have options to do that. And so like if they want to answer 10 questions correctly, and you'll see that there's going to be different modalities for these different types of questions. It's not just a guess and check. And it's also going to measure their metacognitive skills, how they're feeling about this. So this is an excellent resource during this virtual learning time for students. And I'm going to exit out of my emulation. I just wanted to show you guys just a little glimpse of what SmartBook could do. But just to review that, I'm under assignments, and I went to add assignments, and I did it through SmartBook. Now most of my other assignments that I want to add, I probably want to do through course and preview it and look at it that way, or I want to go through assessments, because assessments would allow me to look at any of my test banks or any of my practice banks and customize and assign it. And then that can be downloaded to a PDF too as well. And once again, you can make a packet to send out to your students. So I appreciate your time and willingness to do this and help your students. Know that McGraw-Hill is constantly updating at our website. So just go to McGraw-Hill Education Online, and we'll be updating and giving you suggestions to help you with your students. If you're looking at this and going, oh no, I haven't even got my students rostered online, go to McGraw-Hill Education Online, and there's help for that too as well. So in case your students haven't been registered online, you can also find help for that. And please reach out to your sales representative or myself or any other curriculum specialist. We're here to help and really appreciate your time during this trying times for all of us. Thanks again, folks.